my Aqua Argonauts. We are finally, after 57 years, updating Marincess. Better late than never.
For any old school channel fans, you would know that we've been following this deck since Rising Rampage.
No bandwagon here.
And we love and care about this deck so much that we've max rarity this deck out. So hopefully you guys can enjoy it just as much as we have.
Shiny. And for those of you who are new to the deck, this is much like many of the Vrain's Cyberse related decks that basically function around setting up a towers. But this is possibly the most versatile version of any of these decks. It's got great recursion, and we're going to show you guys how to play the deck with a full combo tutorial and test hand at the end of the video. It's also the most adorable out of the decks, but that's just a personal take. Also, we'll be announcing the winner from the Legendary Duelist Duels from the Deep giveaway in this video. So if you entered that giveaway, keep your listening ears on. I swear we're finally announcing the winner. So that being said, make sure you subscribe to the channel, join the sub squad, hit the notification bell, like the video, and comment your favorite water related thing. I don't know, just comment something related to water. I don't know, we're all fishing.
Mine's Mio.
With all that out of the way, let's make a splash, dive in, and look at some water waifus team. Oh boy.
So starting off for our Marincess lineup, we are on triple copies of our Marincess Blue Tang.
Blue Tang.
Triple copies of our Marincess Seahorse.
Nice and shiny.
And then 3 of the brand new Marincess Spring Girl.
Burn, baby, burn.
And then we're on double copies of our Marincess Pascalis, 1 copy of our Marincess Mandarin, and then the final copy of the Marincess Sleepy Maiden.
It's me! I like to sleep. Comment if you also like sleeping.
This is your standard Marincess lineup with the inclusion of the 1 copy of Marincess Mandarin. We have tried to include a lot of extenders into this deck because this deck, as strong as it is, as versatile as it is, it does kind of lose to 1, maybe 2 interruptions, so we want to have a little bit more gas than your typical Marincess build.
Beep beep. Splish splash.
These top 3 we obviously want to max out on because they are the best names. Blue Tang is the best starter card because on normal or special summon she can dump any Marincess monster from your deck to your graveyard, and when it's used for a link summon of a Marincess monster, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck and then add a Marincess card to your hand. Seahorse, when it's in the hand, allows you to special summon itself to an arrow that a Marincess link monster provides. Our Marincess Spring Girl allows us to banish 1 Marincess monster from our graveyard and then special summon this card from the hand, and then if this card is sent to the graveyard as material for the link summon of a water monster, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard equal to the number of Marincess monsters you control. Then if a Marincess card was sent to the graveyard, you can burn your opponent for 200 damage for each Marincess card sent. Shout out to Konami for giving burn effects in 2022. We all love time rules, and I really just wish we would stop printing burn effects in this day and age. It's kind of annoying. In my opinion, these 2 are the best starter cards. As much as we like the Spring Girl, it's great new support. It is not a starter in and of itself, which is why we are choosing to play double copies of Pascalis, because on normal or special summon, this is literally just a double summon. The 1 copy of Mandarin, and then we are playing the 1 copy of Sleepy Maiden because this card literally just special summons itself from the hand again. Once again, just tons of extenders.
If anyone knows what fish Sleepy Maiden's based off of, please let me know in the comments because I think she's perfect, relatable, and I have no idea what fish she is because I don't think there's a fish called Sleepy Maiden.
We are still choosing to play the Shark package, which is the triple copies of Abyss Shark and then the 1 copy of Silent Angler.
Remember how we said we were adding a bunch of extenders to this deck? Well, the Sharky boys are here to do that along with Silent Angler. These are literally just extenders that your opponent doesn't really expect. Really small engine, but really effective in helping this deck get through some of those, you know, oh no, I've been interrupted, help me. Oh good, I have this little guy, I can special him. Yay, continue.
And then moving off to our consistency cards, we are on triple copies of Synapse Mining, double copies of our Marincess Dive, the 1 copy of Marincess Battle Ocean, and then the 1 copy of Marincess Wave.
This is how you know it's a Vrain's deck. They're all playing Synapse Mining. I think that's so funny.
So for the Marincess spells and traps, you may notice that we are playing a very small, minute package, and this is because they are recursive. You can add them back from your graveyard, so you only need to play 1 copy, and all of them are searchable.
Man, that sounds like the salad cards. It's crazy. It's almost like they're from the same anime, do essentially the same thing, but they're cuter.
In water. It is good to note that Battle Ocean is probably the strongest card in this deck, so if you're playing against this deck, you gotta remove this card. This is the card that you're always eyeing for.
Yeah, that's the card that says towers, and this is the card that says you don't get to do anything for the turn and everything's unaffected. So these 2 cards are definitely problematic. Just keep an eye out.
And then what makes this deck super ridiculous is the double copies of Infinite Impermanence, double copies of our Effect Veiler, triple copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, triple copies of our Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple copies of our Nibiru,
Hot Dog,
and then we are playing the 3 Crossout and the 1 Called by the Grave,
which should be banned. Period.
In my opinion, I think Ghost Ogre is kind of the flex spot here, but I really like the way that it's been playing out lately. It obviously hits all the Brave stuff. It's really good against your Rogue stuff, like whether you're playing against Sword Soul, whether you're playing against Despia, whether you're playing
Field
against
spell reliant deck.
Everything. Ghost Ogre's like just really strong. However, if you do not like the Ghost Ogre and you want to play any other hand trap or just any other cards in your deck, feel free because these slots are kind of interchangeable.
free.
And then moving off for the extra deck, we are on double copies of our Marincess Blue Slug. If this card is link summoned, you can target a Marincess monster in your graveyard and just add it back to your hand. Double copies of our Marincess Sea Angel.
This is Balinks.
Literally, on summon, you just search any Marincess spell card from your deck to your hand.
This is usually the field spell.
We've opted to go with double copies of Sea Angel because now that we've gotten the brand new Marincess Dive card, it is searchable. You always want to be searching your field spell on turn 1. Turn 2, you're typically going to be searching Dive instead as your follow-up and just ways to push through even farther. Double copies of our Marincess Coral Anemone.
She water locks you. That's fun.
They all water lock you. That's the only downside to this deck, in all honesty. Can't really play anything but water monsters, which Konami hasn't really given us a lot of.
Except the new Link 4 that's going to be absolutely bonkers. I think it comes out in Darkwing Blast. That card is bananas. Stay tuned for an update in like 6 months.
You 1000% play that card.
That card's bananas.
Coral Anemone is literally just Monster Reborn to its arrow, though. The one copy of Area, this doesn't really come up too often, but you do want a way to get out of your Nibiru if you did nib your opponent going second, because you want to have access to only water monsters on the field, so it's just a generic water link too.
Shout out to us saying max rarity. I'm sorry, team. We really can't afford this card. I've always wanted the Starlight. If you need the P.O. box, it's in the description. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry.
The one copy of our Marincess Crystal Heart.
This is literally just what makes the card of Towers. Honestly, you kind of don't even need to really play this card anymore because the deck's kind of better and consistent without everything, but this just says make Towers, so we play it.
The one copy of our Marincess Marbled Rock. These two have the same effect in the sense where when this goes to the graveyard, you get to add back any Marincess card, and then when this is just on the field during the main phase, you can just add back any Marincess card from your graveyard. So they both just help you recur resources. The one brand new copy of our Marincess Coral Triangle, this searches the trap card. This card is absolutely ridiculous.
She's a pretty mommy. Yo, they gave her midriff. Wow, they actually like didn't censor her. I'm actually quite surprised. Shout out to Konami for being progressive, kind of, except they weirdly censored the tier element cards, so not at all, but this is cool.
Lost Art's coming in 2023.
All 12 tier element cards.
The brand new copy of our Marincess Aqua Argonaut.
Yo, she's gorgeous. I adore her.
Exactly what the deck
she's
needed.
so cool.
Because once during your opponent's turn, when a spell or trap card is activated, quick effect, you can special summon one of your Marincess monsters that is equipped to this card, negate the activation. This protects your field spell, which makes this deck so much more difficult to out.
Mind you, it also says spell or trap effect, so this also tells Draco back to get effed, bro.
We are playing the one copy of Bubble Reef, I'm sorry. Our one copy of Stealth Kraken, the one Bahamut Shark, and then obviously the Toad.
My best boy, who doesn't love a free Omni? This is just the itty bitty XEs package of this deck. Obviously, the Bahamut and the Toad have always been a really good staple in this deck, but now they're even better now that we're moving into the Splay and Power the Elements format. Shout out to Toad, he's probably not gonna live much longer, but let's hope he does. And then we are now adding the Stealth Kraken. This card is actually really whack. I've played against this card many times. It's really good, makes everything water, non-targeting pops, burns. This card kind of does everything. It's really annoying for people to get around, so unless they have like an imperm or something to stop it, like, it's really frustrating. So this is actually a really neat little tech that the deck is now playing, and I think it's kind of slept on. And now that we just spouted a whole bunch of monsters, effects, and things to do with you, we're gonna show you how to play the deck. So let's go, combo tutorial time, yay! Welcome to the test hand portion of the video, team. This is where we do a random 5-card test hand and show you the actual lines of play with what an actual test hand can do. So if you're learning the deck or you want to learn how to play against the deck, this is the perfect way to learn. So with all that being said, we're going to shuffle on up, draw some cards, and show you guys how to play Towers Turbo.
Alright, with that, we're going to do a few more of these bad boys, and boom.
Bam, boom, bop. All right, let's get the part started.
All right, we will start off with 5. We'll see.
Sure.
Abyss Shark, Synapse Mining.
Ooh.
Yo, I love that combo. That's
She's
so fun.
cute. I love her.
Nib and
Wow.
Ogre. All right, so this
What a
hand
fun
is
hand.
actually low-key really insane. So we have Starter, Extender, Nib, Ogre. You know what this does going second? Nib, Griffin Rider, Ogre, Pog.
Woo, full combo, baby.
All right, so going first, we're gonna start off with our activation of Synapse Mining, pitching our Mandarin here. This is gonna search our copy of Blue Tang. Now we're gonna normal summon our Blue Tang, activate the effect. Here we're gonna dump our copy of Seahorse. Now we're gonna link our Blue Tang into our Blue Slug, and we will go Blue Slug Chain Link 1, targeting the Seahorse, and then Blue Tang Chain Link 2, excavate. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I think we're gonna take our we'll take our Spring Girl here.
That's so fun. Man, Blue Tang is really just every good salad card in one.
Now we can special summon our copy of Seahorse to the Blue Slug's arrow. We'll just link it off. This becomes our copy of Sea Angel. We can now activate the Sea Angel's effect. This is gonna search our copy of Battle Ocean. This is probably the most optimal time here because we do have our copy of Mandarin. We do have 2 Marincess Link monsters, so we're gonna activate the Mandarin, special summon it to the Sea Angel's arrow. Now we'll link summon. Here we're gonna summon our copy of Coral Anemone. Now we can activate the Coral Anemone's effect, and we will target the blue Tang. Now we're going to activate our Spring Girl in hand. We can banish any Marincess monster and special summon our copy of Spring Girl. We have 2 level 4s. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my god.
Here we're going to make our copy of the Bahamut Shark. We're going to activate the Bahamut Shark. Obviously, we'll just detach it. Doesn't really matter here.
Into this very well-defined zone number 1 for my sweet baby Toad.
Boom.
Bam.
Now we can activate our Abyss Shark and just special summon it from our hand, and that will trigger its effect. This will add our Silent Angler from my deck to our hand. Now we're going to link here for 3. This will get banished. Into our Coral Triangle, our Marincess Coral Anemone will now activate. We can add back our Blue Tang for follow-up. And the best part about this is, even though we did special summon this, we grabbed a water monster just so we could discard, but if not, we do have the ability to grab back a Blue Tang and pitch it for the Coral Triangle's effect. So we're going to activate this effect now, pitching a water monster to search our copy of Marincess Wave.
Man, that feels so nice.
Now we're going to activate the field spell, and we are going to link to...
Into Crystal Heart. Oh boy, this says towers incoming.
Yeah,
Beep, beep.
you typically don't have to make this play, but we did open like absolutely insane, so we're going to go for it.
Coming in at number 4, we have an Argonaut.
And this is now going to trigger our Battle Ocean.
And before we equip really quick, I'm just going to scoot these down because they have to go in the spell trap zone, and we're kind of a mess over here.
And Battle Ocean will equip 1, 2, and 3 Marincess Link monsters from our graveyard to our spell and trap zone, equipped to our Aqua Argonaut, which now, because of Battle Ocean, gains 600 additional attack for each one and gets the 200 boost. So this is currently at 4,300 attack, unaffected by everything because we did use the Crystal Heart. We have the ability to unequip any of these to negate a spell and trap. We have our Marincess Wave, which is an Imprim we can use from the hand if we control a Link 3 or higher monster, which we do. We have Toad, and we have Ogre and Nib still in hand, plus insane follow-up with our Blue Tang.
And now that that's all done, I'm just going to scoot Toad back into zone number 1. Sorry, he was hippity-hopping along towards the field spell zone. That was getting a little weird. This is absolutely bonkers. I think this deck is so fun.
And then the best part about the follow-up is if we do use the Toad negate, we can add back anything in our
Yeah.
graveyard.
Oh,
and
you just get recursion.
if we do use the Aqua Argonaut, I typically like to unequip the Coral Anemone because if it does go to the graveyard, you get to add something back as well. So that's why I think this is the best Cyber deck in the game right now, because it can do this every single turn.
Yeah, no cap, on God, let's go. We got the goo, baby. And that's the deck. We really enjoy updating and playing this deck. And what's really nice about it is that you can play it however you want. You don't have to play this version of the deck. You have sovereignty over your own deck building. Isn't that crazy? But speaking of crazy and wonderful and water, we're gonna announce the winner for the legendary dual Seals from the Deep Set. So if you're the giveaway winner, guess what? Your name is Eric Joseph. Wow, here's your comment. Thank you so much for being patient. If you won, feel free to contact us on any social media so we can get your box out to you. Thank you to everyone who entered. Stay tuned for more giveaways. Power of the Elements comes out next week. So guess what? New giveaway, new time. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. We love you. You matter. My hands are being weird. And we'll see you guys in the next video over here and all these fun things. Bye, team.